You know that guy on stage that plays the drums, or the girl that plays keys on a Sunday morning, or the person that leads a worship song? I don't call them the worship team, and I don't think you should either. Hi, I'm Dave Dolphin at PracticalWorshipBlog.com, sharing ideas, tips, and practical advice for the everyday worship leader. And on this channel, we have weekly videos that help you lead a worship band and be a leader of people. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. So I am the worship pastor at Cherokee Hills Baptist Church in the Oklahoma City area. And what that means is I am the leader of the worship ministry here. And many of you are probably in a similar situation at your church. And the people you see on stage with me on any given Sunday are a part of my team. And this team that I, as the worship pastor, am in charge of, and they are leading others in worship and playing worship songs. What would you call them? Many of us would say that's the worship team, and that makes a lot of sense, but I intentionally do not call them the worship team, and here's why. Besides your drummers and your guitar players and your singers, you have people in the back of the room that are running sound and executing light cues and running lyrics. There's stage managers and producers and camera operators. What do you call them? We usually call them the production team or the tech team. We call them the media team, and I think we would all say that the people that are doing these roles on a particular Sunday morning are just as important as someone who's playing drums or leading the song. And I would even go as far as to say that those on your tech team are leading worship, that they are just as much a part of the worship ministry as the band members. So the way we say it around here is that our purpose is to inspire people to pursue God through creativity and character, that for each and every one of us, that's our role, that's our function, that's our target on the wall. And I think you can do that just as much under the lights as you can controlling the lights. But this is where it gets awkward, because you have this worship team, which is your band, and then you have this production team, but they're really a part of the worship team too, but they're also their own thing. And so you create this scenario where your production team feels like a fifth wheel. They fit, but they don't. There's already this noticeable distinction between the band personality types and the tech personality types. You know, the people that are on the stage tend to be a little bit more outgoing and abstract creatively, whereas people that are in the booths are quieter and probably more introverted. And there's literally a physical divider between where the band is on the stage and where the tech team is in the back of the room in the sound booth. And if someone says, "Good job" to the worship team, they tend to be pointing towards the stage with their back to the sound booth. But it gets more complicated than that, because if we go back to our purpose statement that we're to inspire people to pursue God through creativity and character, that can happen any day of the week, not just Sunday. We recently launched a team of almost a dozen writers that write regular content for our church blog. Based on that purpose statement that I just gave you, are they a part of the worship team? What about a group of photographers that take photos that we can use on our social media accounts? Are they a part of the worship team? Well, our purpose of inspiring people to pursue God through creativity and character doesn't specifically mention anything about Sunday, and it doesn't specifically mention anything about music, and that's on purpose. So we've got a media team and a blogging team and a photography team and a stage design team and a video team, all fulfilling the mission of the worship ministry. But then we have this band on stage that we call the worship team. So I don't call them the worship team. I call them the music team. The music team is the group of musicians that you see on the stage on a Sunday. And then there's a media team that's running sound and lyrics and lights. And then there's a group of creative writers called the Reach team, because they're using writing and social media to reach beyond the walls of our church building. And all of these teams, these creative arts teams, fall under the umbrella of the worship ministry. And the music team sits on the org chart next to the media team, which sits next to the Reach team, which sits next to the photography team, which sits next to the video team, and whatever other team we can dream up that fulfills our purpose as a ministry. But by giving the band its own name and then reserving the word worship or worship team or worship ministry for the group at large, I think it clearly shows that everyone that is a part of the ministry is an MVP. And I think that's important for everyone to feel that their role is just as vital as everyone else's, because it is. For more videos just like this one, consider subscribing to the channel. That way you're notified when new ones are added every week. And for more advice, that's from me personally, there's a small little ebook called 20 Things I Wish I Knew 20 Years Ago. It's the advice that I've learned over the last 20 years of doing music ministry, and you can download it right now for free at practicalworshipblog.com.